to the 10th episode of Coach by TripleDart. I'm Glenn Bona, your host and an associate director of organic search here at TripleDart. And like all of you, I'm very excited for today's SEO and AI focused episode. But before we dive in, let me do a quick intro here for those who are joining us for the first time about this series. So let me share my screen and we will get into the presentation. So to start, quick introduction, TripleDart is a growth marketing agency focused on both paid and organic channels, primarily serving the B2B SaaS space. Founded in 2021, our agency has quickly expanded to a stellar team of over 70 marketing professionals with offices in India, Singapore, and the US. And we've had the honor of collaborating with some incredible companies and brands, including industry leaders like SentinelOne, ClickUp, and Freshworks. And if you're curious about how we can help scale your business, don't hesitate to get in touch with me or apply directly through our website today at tripledart.com. Moving on, I'm excited to introduce the Coach by TripleDart series, launched earlier last year in 2024. We've already hosted 11 guests, and now our journey continues. This series offers everyone the opportunity to engage with and learn directly from seasoned marketing leaders and growth experts in the B2B SaaS space. And our aim with every episode is to equip you with actionable insights and knowledge that you can apply immediately after each session. With that said, today is a special episode as both me and Manoj, our director of strategy here at TripleDart, will be sharing insights on adapting to the future of search. Here's a quick intro for Manoj. Over the last 9 years, Manoj has transformed the landscape of B2B SaaS marketing, advising over 50 renowned brands, including Zoho and Monograph. And as a co-founder of TripleDart, he directs a skilled team dedicated to craft impactful SEO content and organic growth strategies that ensure predictable revenue pipeline. Specifically, Manoj will be talking about some SEO AI implications going into 2025, comparing SEO in the old world context versus the new world, and finishing off with some awesome AI workflows that we all can leverage at the end. And for me, I am going to switch over to the main presentation. And before we get into Manoj's part, I'll be actually kicking off today's Coach by TripleDart with how we can optimize for large language models, LLMs. So I hope you have your notebook or your pens or your digital document out, because today is going to be a fun one, filled with a lot of takeaways. So let's get started. As AI-powered search evolves, we all need to start rethinking about how we approach brand visibility. And in this presentation, I'll walk you through 5 key ideas to help your brand get recognized by LLMs and cited in AI-driven search results. But before we get into that, let's ask why it's important to optimize for LLMs. First off, LLMs, large language models, don't just read content like traditional search engines. They actually interpret meaning by analyzing words and concepts that relate to each other. And to accomplish this, LLMs break down content into tokens, which represent words, spaces, punctuation, things like that, and convert those tokens into numerical representations. And they take these representations, these numerical representations, and map them onto a semantic space and calculate how semantically close they are to each other. Ultimately, AI models like ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, and Perplexity, they measure the proximity between different topics to determine relationships between each other. So for example, in this screenshot here, when I ask Perplexity AI which fitness watch is the best in 2025, it recommends Garmin as well as a list of others for specific reasons. And the reason that it recommends these brands is because they have a strong topical association to fitness, running performance, health tracking, all of that stuff. So when we think about the brands that we want to position, or the goal to position brands in the same way for relevant topics that they want to be known for. Thus, optimizing for LLMs means that you are positioning and future-proofing your brand for relevant visibility, right? And that's the key here, relevant brand visibility. So to accomplish this, there are 5 ways, and here's the first one. Number 1, build a strong digital PR presence. To get cited by LLMs, your brand must be strongly associated with its key topics. And PR plays a massive role here because this helps your brand get mentioned by authoritative sources and also helps with that topical association. So sticking with our fitness example, our fitness tracking, fitness watch example, you can actually search Garmin Venu 3, which is one of the watches that came up in Ahrefs Content Explorer. And actually, it's quite small, but below pages, you can see that it has over 9,000 mentions from sources like Wired, Android Authority, and these mentions on other people's websites or really big industry websites are not just organic mentions. They come from PR campaigns, they come from press releases, paid sponsorships, and also backlinks, right? But the main point here is that you want to show up from trusted sources, right? And you can also track when you're doing a campaign like this, like a PR campaign, you can track share of voice in tools just like Ahrefs, where you can measure topical relevance and compare it with your competitors, right? And the more we're cited by these high authoritative sources, the more likely these large language models will associate your brand with the relevant topics. Make sense? Moving on to approach number 2 is using quotes, stats, and citations to your advantage. Actually, in a recent AI study that analyzed over 10,000 search queries to see what factors influenced LLM citations, they actually found that content that included quotes saw a 27.2% increase in visibility. And then second was statistics. So that boosted visibility 25.2%. So the important thing here is citing sources, adding quotes, adding statistics, as well as, adding citations and authoritative tone, improved citation frequency. So if you really think about it, if an LLM, a large language model like ChatGPT, pulls data from various sources, it will likely reference the most commonly cited statistics and quotes. So by strategically embedding these elements into our content, we can increase our chances of being featured in an AI-driven result. Combining these statistics and quotes with a digital PR campaign, just like in the first approach, will allow LLMs to factor in all of these authoritative sources and therefore compile and increase the chance that your brand gets mentioned. But the first actionable step here is a clear one. You want to add expert quotes, original research to your content in the first place before you start proliferating out into other places as well. And to answer Sarah's question, yes, there is a recording that will be emailing out of this presentation after it's done. Okay, moving on to number 3, which is prioritizing entity research and content relevance. As we stated earlier, traditional keyword research is evolving, right? Instead of focusing solely on monthly search volume, which SEOs like myself really love, we should start analyzing how LLMs perceive brand entities like names, places, and products, right? And you can do so by utilizing a couple of tools. Number one is Google's NLP API, right? You can also use other entity recognition tools. But the simplest way that I found, and the one that in the example here, is actually asking Perplexity AI or a Chat GPT or even AI overviews what topics your brand is authoritative in. So in this example, I asked Perplexity, what topics is TripleDart authoritative in? And it came up with three. Number one is B2B SaaS marketing. Number two is acquisition marketing. And number three is growth strategy and revenue operations, which is pretty much all we talk about because we're really big nerds in that space, right? So you can tell that a Perplexity definitely is aligned with, or where our website is aligned with what we want to be known about. So if there is a gap between where your brand is and where you want to be, we need to start creating content to strengthen our entity associations. That way, LLMs like Perplexity or ChatGPT can pick up on those entities. Same with Google's Gemini, right? And then lastly, you can optimize for entity relationships by ensuring structured data markup like entity schema. You can actually create entity schema using some of these AI tools and then directly inserting it. Yes, and answering Angela's question, we will be sharing a recording since you joined late. Moving on to number 4 is claiming Wikipedia listings. This is super important. So Wikipedia is one of the most influential sources of training data for LLMs. And if your brand isn't on Wikipedia just yet, you might be missing out on an opportunity. Number one, the truth of the matter is that every major LLM includes Wikipedia as part of its training data set, making it an important element for brand visibility in AI search results. But to qualify for a Wikipedia page, your brand must actually meet notable and specific criteria. For example, you've gained coverage in news articles or even books or academic papers that help build this sort of notable criteria. Simply backlinks from another middle tier DR website doesn't count, right? And then also you have to make sure that your Wikipedia entry is as neutral as possible. It's super well cited and it's not promotional whatsoever. But having a Wikipedia presence can help secure a spot in Google's knowledge graph, which further enhances your AI-driven visibility. And then moving on to the last point here, the last approach, which is investing in Reddit and other user-generated content platforms. So thanks to the recent partnership with Google, Reddit has become a key training source for LLMs, allowing them access to a huge library of user-generated content. Sticking with the fitness watch example, the Garmin fitness watch example, you can see in the image here when I enter reddit.com into Site Explorer and then I just filter for keywords using just Garmin. Garmin is actually referenced over 14,000 times within Reddit. Probably, even more. Ahrefs is just an estimation. But this presents a huge opportunity for brands, for founders, for experts to actively participate in discussions, answer relevant questions, and engage in community building. Just be sure that you're not spamming these platforms. But strategies like hosting AMAs or collaborating with Reddit influencers or encouraging authentic product discussions or even product comparisons can improve brand visibility in AI-generated results. And using Ahrefs, you can actually track Reddit brand mentions over time so that you can measure impact and use this data to refine any other engagement strategies that you have. One more thing that I want to note when it comes to Reddit, as we know, Google has shifted from entity-based indexing rather than the keyword-based indexing in the past. And the reason for this is because the addition of new entities helps with the evolution of a topic, right? And Google wants to always be ahead of the curve. They always want to be in the forefront when it comes to serving the most up to date and relevant results for a given topic. So if there are any new entities that come in that are related or relevant or adjacent to that topic, Google wants to know about it, right? And with the recent and relevant conversations that always come up within Reddit, because of user-generated content, Google is likely pulling in all of that new entity information to help formulate where a topic is headed, so that the topical evolution is always going in the right direction. Cool. So those are the 5 approaches, and I'll leave you with one more tip here. The last tip, the bonus tip, is don't ignore SEO fundamentals. Organic SEO still plays a huge role in LLM visibility. The screenshot on the right is actually from a SEER interactive study that found a really strong correlation between high organic rankings and LLM mentions. What it was really surprising here was that backlinks actually had a neutral effect. You can see backlinks on the number 2 shelf right here at 0.10, meaning that maybe traditional link building alone won't guarantee LLM mentions. You might need to start thinking a little bit more about digital PR or even more authoritative sources, right? But what we really need to prioritize here is instead looking at the right organic keywords, meaning diving into content quality, matching search intent, and also technical SEO optimizations like structured data, aka schema markup, to maximize your chances of appearing in AI generated search results. Cool. So I'm going to leave you with some key takeaways. And for people that are asking questions in the chat, we are gathering all of them for a Q&A session at the end. But here are the 5 main takeaways before I pass everything over to Manoj. Number 1 is optimizing for topic association via PR and Wikipedia. Number 2 is using quotes and statistics and citations to boost content credibility. Number 3 is understanding how LLMs perceive your brand via entity research. And the simplest way is just asking ChatGPT or Perplexity, hey, what do you think about my website? What are the entities or what are the associations that come up when you think of or when you see TripleDart or Garmin or your brand, right? Number 4 is engage in user-generated content communities like Reddit for additional mentions and AI exposure. And then the last one is SEO still matters, but it's more about relevance and a little bit less about rankings. So hopefully you all took some really great takeaways. Again, we will be sending the slides and the recording, but yeah, I am super grateful for everybody listening, and I am going to pass the mic over to Manoj, who's going to walk us through everything else that we have for you today.
Thank you, Glenn. Thanks for the introduction, and nice to see you all. I think we have a very good number of people joined today, and very excited for that. And yeah, so it was a great tips, Glenn. So moving to relevancy rather than just ranking is like very important nowadays, because we did see what happened to big players recently, due to the relevancy of the content. So I think in this 2025, more than ranking, the relevance matters. And thanks for those tips. And yeah, so I just jump into the topic, the AI SEO workflows, and as well as the future, the implications that going into 2025. Yeah, cool. So
Manoj, do you want to share your screen?
yeah, I can share. Yes.
Okay.
Cool. Uh, Yeah, I think, we wanted to name it as like not only AI SEO, like wanted to loop human always, because that is like very important in order to make sure we are not, giving the full authority uh, or something like the permissions or access to A, because like the quality matters finally. So wanted to like name it as AI SEO, like human in loop always. Yeah. So also like definitely SEOs need to be like retooled for success in 2025. So we should not take it as a kind of challenge or kind of we should not afraid of the things happening in 2025. So like I want to set the mindset before jumping into like ASEO topics, right? So SEO is not dead. Actually, it became like more interesting nowadays. Actually, because at times like 3 or 4 years back, I felt that okay, like we are doing like the same thing every day, and there is nothing interesting or challenging other than the Google algorithm update, right? So, but for the last like 6 or 10 months, we couldn't handle the changes happening in this industry. So that's how like we are in, and I just like want to set these expectations or mindsets before jumping into the next slides, right? So we should embrace the change that happening here, and obviously like we should be like curious and very experimentative and refine the strategies to stay ahead, and very interesting times to be in SEO, I feel, because a lot of things happening and a lot of new tools, like people are moving from the traditional or conventional tools like Ahrefs, SEMrush to like the uh, new tools like new AI SEO tools. There are like a lot of tools are coming up, and it's like I mean it's very interesting time to be in SEO and to innovate and make an impact in your like day-to-day job, right? And treat the challenges as opportunities for organic growth always, because I mean, previously it was just algorithm update that gives you challenges, but right now there are lot to consider, and the scope of this role, right? The SEO and content role is like increasing, if you ask me. So that's creating the opportunity for everyone, like who joined here as well as the community, SEO and content community. Yeah. So why I'm saying that, right? So if you see the implications going into 2025. There are a lot, like previously we were dwelling into like topical authority, publishing velocity, content optimization, more like on page, off page, technical SEO, and these things like backlinks, content monitoring. But right now, like it's just like increased scope, right? We also need to like think of branding, digital PR, and realizing like social media and forums. What Glenn mentioned, the Reddit as a forum, we need to like use that. Also like multi-format content, optimizing for LLMs, and more importantly grow fast, because like previously 2 3 years back, so everyone like says, hey, to take like 8 months, 10 months, but right now there are a lot of tools available in order to like scale you fast. I mean, scale the things fast. So like this is also like come into the picture. Hey, grow fast. Also like increase the traffic faster than like 2023 or 2024. That's happening because we are in that era to do the. I mean, because previously it takes around like 1 hour to do some like optimization or brief creation and whatever. But right now with these AI workflows and AI tools, like we are doing it in like 5 10 minutes, which means like the productivity increase, and also like you can execute faster. The same like you can grow fast. So that's why like these are kind of new. I would say the scope that added to our day-to-day job, and which we need to like embrace now. Also like we take this as opportunity. New businesses are coming in order to enable this digital PR, branding, and optimizing for LLMs, also like grow fast. For this, like there are a lot of AI tools are coming in. So it's like kind of an opportunity that we should think rather than like afraid of these AI things like overtaking the businesses. Yeah, cool. So let's jump into the topic like AI tools redefining organic search. And I just want to start with this, right? What most SEOs think about AI. So a big misconception about AI in SEO is that it's okay, like AI in SEO is to produce more, produce content in higher velocity with low quality content. But this is wrong. So what we understood in the last 6 to 10 months is you can automate most of your day-to-day activities. Around like 75 to 80% automation, meaning you can increase the time of doing what you are executing on day-to-day this thing, right? So this is what I wanted to set this up before moving into workflows. So you can automate most of the repetitive tasks. Here I just added 3 examples, right? One is this internal linking addition. So usually in the old world, so SEO search the target keyword on Google search with such parameters like site example.com to identify the interlinking opportunities. It would take around definitely more than 15 to 20 minutes in order to find interlinking opportunities for one page. Also, there is another one way of doing it, because Ahrefs and SEMrush would give you interlinking opportunity, but that is not enough. You should do some more things when it comes to interlinking. But right now, so with these AI workflows in hand, you just provide the sitemap URL to AI workflow and upload the target keywords using CSV. That's it. AI workflow can provide you the interlinking suggestions, right? So I will walk you through how to build these workflows in the upcoming slides. But these are some of the activities you can automate other than just generating content, right? So backlink audit, which is very important, especially if you are start doing the SEO for any domain, you will definitely need to check whether there is a lot of spammy websites that we have backlink from. Also you need to previously you need to manually check, download the backlink domains or URLs and manually check the page to determine whether they are spammy or whether they are high quality content. But right now, sadly, it should be yeah. But right now, I think you can. So we have one workflow built for just backlink audit. It just check all the workflows and give you that backlink analysis workflow that scraps that scraps and evaluates domain from a CSV file. I think it's swapped here. Sorry. So a backlink analysis workflow that scraps and evaluates domains from a CSV file using AI to access their relevancy and generate a reserve list. It's just you need to give the list of the domains or URLs that already have backlink, and it will give you a reserve list. Yeah. So this is how we added a lot of workflows in the upcoming slides. I will walk you through one by one. But these are some of the activities that you can automate using these tools. Yeah. And yeah, so we collect all these questions and we will answer to those in the Q&A session team. And yeah, so now getting into how to ideate, build and deploy workflows, right? Before start building workflow, you need a proper process and plan. Actually, as an SEO, I already know how to do a certain activity, right? Let's say if you take an example of doing interlinking that we say, right? We have a certain process. This is how we need to do, and this is the data source. Let's say I need a keyword data from SEMrush. I need the keyword data. I need the pages and ranking from Search Console, and I need to take all the pages from sitemap. So this is a plan. Okay, this is a kind of process, a step 1, step 2, step 3. We need to clear. Use a whiteboard to define each step, identify data sources, and set expected outputs. That is more important. What is the output I need? So with that, you can tweak your workflows and fine tune your workflows and to generate the desired result, right? And then building. When it comes to build, here is very important, because you need to choose the right tool. Depends on the integration options you want. Let's say you may have WordPress as CMS, or you have Webflow as CMS, the tool that you are selecting, right? The AI SEO tool. So that should have integration to all the the tools that you are using in your company or for your business, right? And then when it comes to deploy, the crucial step in deployment is adding a human quality check layer. This is what I mean wanted to create this narrative from start, because this quality check is very important right now for these tools, because these tools are getting trained every day. So maybe in 1 or 2 years we will have a I mean, these tools may be matured, maybe around 50-60% of the activities they can handle without a human intervention. But right now, the human quality check layer is definitely needed. Just to make sure. I mean, the outputs that generated by AI are match with our brand guideline or match with what we are expecting. So these are the two, and I just want to touch base on this human intervention, I mean, human layer in the workflow. And then we can, jump into building some real workflows with the tools, right? So always loop human in any AI workflow. Quality control is very important, and guided strategy, right? So this is one of the workflows that we have built, and there you can see we included a human review here. This is just a content brief creation workflow, but we wanted to have one human review layer in order to make sure the title generated by AI is very much relevant to the topic, right? So that's why we wanted to have this human layer always. So this helps you with quality control, and also it's a guided strategy. Let's say if AI generate a different title that is not relevant to the topic, then the output, the brief output, I mean the output is the brief, the final brief will be not relevant to what you are expecting. So we can have one human review here and make sure that the title gave by this tool, I mean, workflow is right. And then you can, pass it to the next steps. Yeah. So that's it. And yeah, let's build some workflows together. And yeah, I just want to start with one workflow that we have created previously. This is our internal tool we are piloting right now, and co-piloting right now. So we will be soon releasing this tool in 1.5 months, and we are very excited, and we are trialing it for different clients internally and training this tool, because we already create a lot of processes for all the SEO and PPC activities that we are doing here. So I just start with this workflow thing that we already built, because this is one of the important workflow that all the businesses needs, right? They have lot of testimonials, results with their clients, but they couldn't scale or create case studies in bulk, because it's I mean it's little difficult, because you need to deploy writer and deploy a QC person. So deploy a Webflow developer in order to create that Webflow, or any CMS developer in order to create that in your CMS. But what we did is, so these are the kind of inputs that we usually get for any case studies, right? Let's say what's the client name and what is the service that provided by TripleDart, challenges faced by clients, final outcomes, our strategy. And these are we used to get it filled by the the strategists who worked on that project. And we just float a typeform form and they fill it, and that will be the input for this workflow. So then you could see the next block is the LLM. So the LLM create a case study with the inputs that we are giving. So just you can see the output here. It just started with the title, TripleDart transform Plivos MQL generation by 78%, because this is the number that we have added in the input, right? And then a comprehensive overview of partnership Plivo, it just explaining about what is who is the client, and then what is the challenge they had, and what is the challenges that we supported to them, right? And also what are the key challenges and the outputs and the kind of strategies that we have built, and as well as it would give you the kind of the images that we have added as well. So if you see this is how yeah. So this is the the final output that we have built from this workflow, and these are kind of images that we are adding in this inputs actually. Yeah. So, I mean, then like, what we did is after this LLM, like, we created a blog for AI check because like, we don't want to like, create a page just like very robotic. So we introduced AI check. It removes all the like, the AI words, right? So in this like fast growing world, I mean, those kind of, the AI words, like it would remove. And then like, it come up with like the right the titles with another LLM, and then like we are scripting to like add the images, and the final output is on the Google Doc. Actually, once the Google Doc integration is done, and we will get a notification on Slack and Gmail that hey, the I mean the case study creation is done for this input, and it's ready for like deploy on CMS, because we didn't add the CMS integration here because we want to see the output, and then like we will add that to the CMS thing. Yeah, so this is like one of the workflows that we have created, and this just like we already created and I showed it to you, but I want to like build something in this call with like what I have shown so far, right? Maybe like for this I'm using a platform called Moonlit, and there are like a lot of AI SEO tools available, and for this session like I'm going to use this Moonlit, right? Okay, so as I said, now like we are in the process of building the process, right? Okay, like what we are going to do here. So I just like want to do a basic workflow, because there are a lot of complex workflows there. I will show you in the upcoming slides, but I want to like practice some I mean the easy workflow that anyone can do, right? So I just like want, okay, like I have data in my search console. I want to like find the low hanging fruits. I mean, low hanging opportunities. I mean, to optimize so that I can get most out of those pages to optimize. Yeah. So this is my like goal. So for this, like what I'm going to do is get the page versus query data from Search Console. Identify. I hope you all see my screen. Yeah. Identify the keywords for which we are ranking between 5 to 20, and then provide the title optimization suggestions. Yeah. So here the source is GSE, and here after like getting the data from GSE, then we need to like analyze it with LLM and provide optimization suggestion, right? The same, that is also like we need LLM and output on a table and text. Yeah, so these are kind of 4-step workflow that we are going to create now, and yeah, I just like show it from the scratch. So here in this tool, like you have all the, I mean, most of the templates, you can also use that for different use cases. They have like, a very good, one template for like, SEO content brief, and other templates as well. You can use that. But I want to like create something from scratch so that, you can also build anything customizable. Yeah. So as I said, like, we need to like get the data from GSE. For that, we need to give the input. We need to give the property as an input. I just like, select text input, and here you can see like, the input module, and then like, the function module and the output module. I just like start with input. Here the input is the GSE property, right? Yeah. So the label is GSE property, and it's just a text box. You just need to give like the name of the GSE, right? And then like, here I just select the function, and I need to like, select something from Search Console if I can find Search Console. Yeah, you can see like Google Search Console integration here. Just select that and set it up. So from where it should, get the property name, it should get it from the input. So you just need to copy this the name, the block name, and just like add it here, like text input. And what is the search type? Like I just stick with web, And then like the dimensions, what I need page, I need query. So I just like, because I need both the dimensions and it will give all the metrics. Yeah. And data set last 90 days. And I just like, want to do some filters. Maybe I just like want to go with only Bofu because like not just all the pages, only like, Bofu page. Yeah. Bofu meaning like, query, I mean, the bottom of funnel, right? The query contains, let's say, tool here. And I mean, also like, I want to find it only from blog, not from landing pages because blogs are performing well. So blogs contains, sorry, page contains blog. So two filter, one is query contains tool, page contains blog. Okay, like now we done with this step, get the page and query data from GSC. Now we need to enter into like, identify the keywords for which we are ranking between like 5 to 20, right? For that, like, I'm using LLM. So I just like go and create a, I mean, here you can see chat model. So, I mean, with that, like you can, access all the LLM models here and give the prompt, uh, right? Give the prompt is query contains tools. So what we need to do here, identify the keywords for which we are ranking 5 to 20 in the, for which we are ranking in the position between like 5 to 20, identify the keywords from, I mean, here, like we need to like, I mean, the LLM should get the data from this output, right? So you need to copy here and add that from, you understood, right? So here, like, it's just, you are adding, identify the keywords from the previous output where we are, ranking in position, like, between 5 to 20. And you just like, add a personality to this chat model. You are an SEO analyst, right? So like that, you need to analyze this thing. So identify the keywords from this and where we are, ranking between like, 5 to 20. And then like, this is sorted and then like, provide the title optimization section that also like we are using LLM. So add another one function, right? Chat model. And then like, configure it like, hey, provide the, I just provide the optimized titles for those pages from their ranking between 5 to 20 keyword position. Yeah. And then like the same, you add this as the personality for this LLM agent. And then like, no, I mean, okay, so we done with this and then like the final output. So add a output as table, right? Where it would take the data from the search console. I show it as one output and then like, add a text box where it will, show the data from the second, oh my God. Yeah. So where it take the data from the chat model, the second one, and add another input, another like output, which should show the data from the optimized title, this thing. Yeah, so we done with this, and then like, we just like start testing it. Maybe like for this, I just give a property name, empty.io, so whatever property like you have, you can add it here. I mean, for this, you need to like, if there is an error, okay, this spelling error contains block. The same I give empty.io. Yeah. So the first stuff is done. It generated like, it collected the data from Search Console, and second chat model is like, running because it would take time because it's just like, filter the pages which are ranking between like, 5 to 20. And then like the next chat model, like, will give you the optimized title, right? Yeah. So we added like three outputs. The first output is like the page and the query that is ranking and the impression, click, CTR, and position. These data like directly came from Search Console. And the second output is like these are the pages ranking between like 5 to 20. There are like few ranking between like 4.6. I think it's considered as 5, right? And which are ranking within the specified position ring. These are the pages, and these are the keywords for which we are ranking between like 5 to 18. So you can see some discrepancy, right? Just like pulled one thing, like one keyword for which the position is 4. These are kind of fine tuning that you need to do after this. It's just like you got the first output, then you need to like fine tune the workflow. Okay, like more interesting is the second and the last one, because it should give you the optimized title. So I mean, for this page, for this keyword, Workday onboarding tool, maximum efficient best Workday onboarding tool, because this it scraps the or it check the other pages ranking in the Google and gives you. You can also like tweak the prompt. Hey, check the ranking pages and then like suggest the like the title like that. So it's just like fine tuning, but this is how like you can build the workflow. And here you got like what are the pages that are ranking in between like 5 to 20. It's just like simple workflow, but it creates like good impact, right? 5 to 20, and you got the like optimized title for that. You can tweak it and add it there directly. Yeah, you can also like make it in a table, and you can directly like copy this here. Yeah, so that's it. And also like there are a lot of complex workflows that we have built, but we have like lesser time, we cannot go through all that. So what we did is like we added those in like upcoming slides here. So like here like we showcased the individual blogs in like separate in this flow chart. So and also like added what are these like workflows for. Add internal and external linkings to the pages. Like let's say if you have one page and you need to like know what are the internal linkings that you can give and also the external linkings. So there are like different blogs that we have created in order to get the accuracy here. Yeah. And workflow 2 on SEO overview of any domain. 3, like we added like somewhere around like 4 to around like 8 workflows here. Also like you can also ping me over LinkedIn if you want to like if you have any doubts on creating any workflows with any tools. Yeah. And with that, I just like, we have a lot more slides, but I just like quickly walk through. So with this AI workflows, like you can, easily like, exercise this or experiment programmatic SEO. This works only with like, these AI workflows, right? It's not just like kind of the output. It's like, more about the workflow that you are, setting up. So, I mean, we just like share this slide. You can, understand this thing in detail. And yeah, these are the kind of, the case studies that we have with the programmatic SEO approach, like, with Multiplayer and ByteDance Lark, Sentinel One, and as well as like Freightify. And we are like, running a lot of experiments on programmatic SEO right now, around like, 6, 7 projects going on, and we will like show those results or share those results over LinkedIn in future. And yes, now I just like take 2 minutes and close this off, right? And want to introduce Growth Slate by TripleDart. I think I already showed the product here, and this will be like go public in like 1.5 months. And these are why like this is the main differentiation is like this tool is built by the real expertise who built strategies for more than 100 SaaS companies, right? And both from SEO, content, and PPC. So we pre-built all the kind of templates, because like the main challenge with all these AI SEO tools outside in the market is like they don't have much templates, and the SEOs need to like create everything from scratch. So you don't need to like create workflows from scratch. You can start like creating these AI workflows from day one. So we try to like build like more templates. That's why that will help the SEO and content community to like create more workflows instantly. And then like in all-in-one solutions, we have like integrations to all the the popular CMS and the popular SEO tools, and like the you can send email, or you can enrich email, and also like the other Google shoots as well. Like, we are adding like more integrations to here. It's all in one solution. You don't need to subscribe for SEMrush or Ahrefs, right? It's a API, like we already like connected. You just need to like go and create workflows with different tools, right? And also like the inbuilt task management. This is very important because there are a lot of human intervention in all these AI workflows. I mean, our workflows will like create tasks instantly, so that it will assign to the right people. Like they need to review these the outputs that coming from these AI workflows. So it's like very important. And for example, an AI audit workflow finds broken backlinks, triggering a task for a team member to fix them. So it's like automated in that. It also like assigns to a person in order to like fix the stuff. It's like faster execution, right? And then yeah, so finally like you can join waitlist by like scanning this QR, and we will you will get exclusive features and pricing when we go live. Yeah. I
Awesome.
think
Well,
that's yeah. Please go ahead, Clint. I think that's it with this. Like
yeah.
I'm winding up my thing. Also, like we will share this slide. We have added lots of workflows, and you can also ping us over LinkedIn if you have any doubts while building those workflows. Yeah.
Yeah, I highly suggest everybody get out their phone to scan this QR code, join the wait list. Manoj, this was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all of these workflows. I know that there was a lot more slides for you to go through, but obviously time doesn't allow for it. Just to let everybody know, these slides and also the recording of the presentation will be shared. So keep an eye out for that email. But yeah, thank you again, Manoj, for going through those workflows and then doing a live walkthrough as well. I bet it's really sparked some new ideas on what's possible when utilizing AI for SEO, especially when it comes to hopefully utilizing our new Growth Slate tool very soon. During the presentation, we received a bunch of questions from our audience. We're going to answer a couple of them, hopefully within the final 5-6 minutes that we have here. But to start off the Q&A, I saw a question come in about entity SEO and how do we let Google know about those entities? And I could take that up. The question was, what are entity schemas, right? Entity schema is a form of structured data that helps search engines understand, categorize, and relate entities, meaning people, places, things, and concepts within a particular web page. And they are defined using schema.org. So if you want to look up different structured data or schema markup, you can go to schema.org and look for that. And one way that we've been implementing this for our clients when it comes to entity schemas is actually just pulling up ChatGPT and prompting it to create an entity schema for a specific page, whether that's a product page or even a blog page. So you can actually feed ChatGPT a URL and ask it to analyze it and produce a entity schema, and then it will spit out a JSON code that you can directly implement into your CMS, whether that's WordPress or Shopify or Webflow. And this helps Google or any other LLMs understand the specific entities that that blog page or that particular website wants to be known for. So that's one way to do it. Another question that came up was, is digital PR just building backlinks? What's the difference between digital PR and backlink building? And I thought this was a really great question. Backlink building is more of a traditional SEO approach, which is aimed at increasing website or domain authority and improving search rankings. And you could do this through a bunch of different ways, like guest posting, link insertions, or even resource linking on specific listicles. We also call this the surround sound strategy. And that particular strategy can help with digital mentions, as stated earlier. But when it comes to digital PR, it's actually more focused on brand building. And SEO is a byproduct of that. And the aim here when it comes to digital PR is to position your brand as an authority and securing high quality mentions from top tier media outlets and also industry websites. And you can accomplish this by producing more newsworthy content. You can conduct your own case studies or conduct your own surveys and sharing those data-driven insights with reporters and journalists that are looking for a more relevant story to publish. In essence, you are giving a reporter a story. And another way to contribute to digital PR is also just contributing or providing expert quotes to publications like Forbes or TechCrunch or even The Guardian. The latter, when it comes to digital PR versus backlinks, digital PR is more creative and requires more time to execute, right? But the payoff could be much greater, especially when it comes to ranking or showing up within authoritative sources, right? So those are two main questions. Another question is for a new startup, how much time do you think one should give with content to start seeing results? That comes with from Tanmay. Manoj, do you want to take this one up, or should I take a stab at it? Looks like you're muted at the moment.
Yeah. For a new startup, right? We cannot. It's like, which industry we are in, right? And maybe you can, try it out. You can, see like, how the competitors who are like, having the similar profile like you, grown, and what are the, kind of strategies that we have, built, right? That gives you like, some sort of inputs that okay, like this is a cluster that we need to like target, and these are kind of the keywords that we need to build. But focus on like bottom of funnel keywords first. Otherwise, like you would get traffic but not business. So you may like lose interest on this, the channel, that the very beautiful channel, right? So first start with bottom of funnel, understand like what your audiences are searching, and make sure you have like good quality content. It's like forget about this AI and all, like for the initial 6 months, don't write content with AI. So because like you just started, and you need to show the real differences that you have and the uniqueness that you have with the other players that in the market actually. So build that, and try to like rank for all your like money businesses, and money keywords as well as the transactional keywords, and create a, the kind of topical cluster for those topics around. So I think that's the right approach to start with, if you want me, like if you are starting this channel. Yeah.
Yeah, great answer there. Next question is from Meta. Can budding startups make it for a Wikipedia page? I would say yes, but it's really challenging. I think Wikipedia has really strict notability guidelines. And if your startup doesn't meet them, the page will likely be deleted. Wikipedia favors more established companies with uh, a lot of media coverage. They are appearing on a lot of news outlets. They've probably been around for a while. So a brand new startup might struggle to create and maintain a page. With that said, like if you are doing a really big PR campaign where you are getting written about or you're doing a really huge influencer campaign where it shows up on really big outlets and things like that, then you might be able to show up on Wikipedia, but it might be reserved for startups that are a little bit more mature, I would say. But really great question there, Meta. Cool. Unfortunately, I think we are a little bit over time here. Manoj, do you want to take one more question, or how do you feel about timing here?
Yeah, it's almost like 9. Maybe we can take this question, maybe like try to answer over email if possible. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Great call. Great call. Yeah, we will try and do a roundup of all of the questions and try to reach out and provide some of those answers via email. But yeah, for the most part, I just want to say thank you, everyone. And also thank you, Manoj, for covering a lot when it comes to AI and SEO. You and me both covered in the last 60 minutes, and I believe everybody has taken a bunch away, especially to maybe start experimenting with. Again, just a note to our audience, we will be sharing the slides as well as the recording. So watch out for that email soon to come in your inbox. And if you're curious about AI SEO workflows or exploring any other strategic growth opportunities for your brand, your product, your company, don't hesitate to reach out to me, to Manoj, or to connect through the TripleDart website. We'd love to start a conversation. And yeah, Manoj, thank you once again for today's session. I know our audience and our team found what we shared today to be super powerful to take forward. So yeah, we appreciate you coming on today's Coach by TripleDart episode.
Thank you to you too, Glenn. And your session was like very interesting and the great tips. Yeah, I mean, this is like very much needed right now to optimize for LLM. Yeah.
Awesome. And yeah, thank you everybody for joining. And we will see you on the next episode of Coach by TripleDart. So take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, your night, your afternoon, and we will talk to you again soon. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Thank you.